Good evening and welcome to the Irish Art Show, brought to you from the Scientology Community Centre, Dublin. Tonight we are delighted to welcome Zach Mack to the show. He's 15 years old and an amazing musician. He started playing guitar from the tender age of 4 and has practiced 4 hours a day, 7 days a week ever since. He's the first person in Ireland to pass grade 8 guitar exams with 95% distinction at the age of 12. His first radio interview was with Kerry McLean from BBC Radio Ulster. He's played in countless concerts and festivals, from the Master McGrath Fest to the Letterkenny Blues Fest. He's appeared on TV and released a new album called Supernatural. Prepare to be blown away by the incredible Zac Mack.
The things that you say, they get in the way. I know what to say, but not the right way. They don't believe you, they won't let you through, and you had no choice, so tell them the truth. The things that you say, they get in the way. I know what to say, but not the right way. They don't believe you, they won't let you through, and you had no choice, tell them the truth. The things that you say, they get in the way. I know what to say, but not the right way. They don't believe you, they won't let you through, and you had no choice, so tell them the truth. The things that you say, they get in the way. I know what to say, but not the right way. They don't believe you, they won't let you through, and you had no choice, tell them the truth. It was there, but now it's gone. Was it real or was it just a thought? You look familiar, haven't we met before? Are you sure things don't seem the way they're supposed to be? And over the years, everything has changed for me. Things don't seem the way they're supposed to be. And over the years, everything has changed to me. Oh, gaps in the wall that just don't doesn't sit right. We shout and scream, but there's no reply. Gaps in the wall, it just doesn't sit right. We shout and scream, but there's no reply. And I don't know why things don't seem the way they're supposed to be. And over the years, everything has changed for me. Things don't seem the way they're supposed to be. And over the years, everything has changed to me. Everything has changed to me. Everything has changed to me. out to play the guitar. The Gemini will never die. That boy's gonna fly high. Just wait until you see why. The boy used to play in the band. You knew he's got electric hands. Before he dreams of being a big star, you knew he's got electric hands. He's heading down around the town, playing like the Johnny Marr. He's getting out to play the guitar. The boy used to play in the band. You know he's got electric hands. The boy dreams of being a big star. You know he's got electric hands. So easy to give my heart away, but I found out the hard way. There's a price you have to pay. But I found out that love was no friend of mine, and I should have known. Time after time, so long, it was so long ago, but I still got the blues for you. Used to be so easy to fall in love again, but I found out the hard way. It's a road that leads to pain. But I found out that love was more than just a game. You're playing to win, but you lose just the same. So long, it was so long ago, but I still got the blues for you. got blues for you.
what an incredible talent Zac Mack is. I'm actually feeling quite emotional and excited at the same time watching his performance. It's exciting to see such young talent coming into, in Ireland and going to be absolutely huge. It's only the beginning for him. Zach, you're very welcome.
Thank you very much.
We are absolutely delighted to have you here on the Irish Arts Show. It's a pleasure to watch you perform.
Yes, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to me that you all enjoyed it. I mean, because this is something that means a lot to me, and the fact that people can be amazed and can somewhat relate to it is amazing to me.
Well, you totally deserve it. I mean, all the hours of work that has gone into that talent. When I listen to Still Have the Blues, it was so emotional watching it.
Yeah, it's
just so emotional.
Yeah, it is quite. It is quite an emotional song. I've always loved it though. I've always loved that sort of. It has that slight sort of melancholiness to it. Do you know what I mean? But it works so well, and that's why I love doing it.
But even listening to you like singing it, and then you go into the guitar solo, and then you come back, it's mesmerising. It's just like nobody wants to take their eyes off you. They just want to watch you.
Yeah, that's.
Watch you, listen to you, and be mesmerised. It's just.
Yeah, it's quite a crazy thing. Now that I think of it, yeah.
And you were telling me actually that it was your dad, Stephen, that had taught you at the start. Taught you how to play in the beginning when you were 4.
He was the one that taught me my first chords. Back when I was about 4 or something like that. And he's also the one that introduced me into like pretty much the first bands I ever really listened to. So the likes of AC/DC, Led Zeppelin and that sort of thing. Lynyrd Skynyrd. In fact, I think my first song, I could be wrong, but I think my first song I ever properly learned was Simple Man by Lynyrd Skynyrd. It's a simple song, no pun intended. But yeah, I think that's where it all started. So it did.
I don't think you'd play anything simple, to be honest, even if it was a simple song. You would definitely put your own stamp on it, that's for sure.
Well, I can do simple stuff too, and it works really well too.
Yeah.
I've got a variety of stuff.
And I see that you're also the first person in Ireland to pass grade 8 guitar exams with 95% distinction at the age of 12.
Yep, that's true, yeah.
How did that feel?
I mean, okay, well, at the start, I couldn't really think much of it because my dad got a phone call about it saying, your son's passed at 95. He was obviously amazed by it, and then when he told me, I was like, wait, what? I didn't really know what to think at the start, but now looking back at it, that is an accomplishment. That is crazy to think. It's quite a big accomplishment.
It sure is. I'm sure when you're playing guitar yourself that you feel it. You feel it through your own body almost, how good you are.
Oh yeah, I do. I'm not sure if it really shows, but yes, I do feel quite a big sort of emotion, if you will.
Did it take you long to become where you are now? Obviously, years and years of practice, obviously. But what age did you feel like, oh my God, this is for me? When you started?
I don't really. Well, okay. Well, let me think. In primary school, I'd say about primary 6. When I was about 9 or so, is the first time I ever played in front of a crowd. It was kind of an accident. Well, not exactly an accident. It was just not really meant to happen. There was some sort of P6 Got Talent show that we done just for a bit of fun, and one of my friends had a guitar, and there's sort of playing some classic rock song. I think it was it must have been Iron Man or Smoke on the Water or something like that. And then I was like, yo, can you hand me the guitar, man? I actually want to try something out. And then I asked the teacher, can I play something here? And he says, yeah, go ahead. And then I played a song, and I did win in the end. That was the first time I sort of played in front of a crowd. It was in front of my whole class. That's where it started anyway. And then after that, I remember I started joining a band. It was the first and probably only band I've ever technically the only band I've ever played in. When I was about 10, that's when we started doing the Master McGrath Fest back in 2018 or 19, I think. And then there's my local pub, Faljo's, which I gig there quite a lot.
I'm sure they're absolutely delighted.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, well, my primary school, I actually am still in touch with quite a few of the staff there, because we're all sort of a small community, because we're all based in Lurgan, and that's sort of one of them things in which everyone knows everyone is, and that's why I know we all know each other quite well.
And do you prefer to be on stage on your own, or do you like when there's a band behind you?
I like them all just about the same, to be honest. Like, I love being on my own because, well, I can pretty much be on my own anywhere I like.
You're self-sufficient.
Well, yeah, exactly. Whether it's like in a small pub or like a large festival. In fact, I was actually playing Fela the other day in Belfast on my own, and it worked absolutely brilliant. I got loads of people, like, you know, checking out my content, and I remember Fela actually put up a video, and I think it's got about 7,000 views within a couple of days, and I was like, Jesus, that is crazy.
Well, you totally deserve it. You're incredible.
I
know I keep saying you're incredible, but you genuinely are. And I like this as well, that this is really good, that you're also endorsed by Emerald Guitars in Donegal and have your Virtuo, is it? Guitar?
Yes, my
So
Virtuo.
that's custom, is it? Custom made guitar.
Yes, it is custom made.
Tell us more about that, because that's a very interesting story. And how did they get in touch with you?
It's quite an interesting thing, because Alistair Head, the owner of Emerald Guitars, got in touch with my dad once again, and he says, you know, I'd like to give your son a guitar and, you know, let him check it out. And he was like, okay. So then he handed the phone over to me, and he was talking to me a little bit about Emerald and like how they're a company based in Donegal, and you know, we make carbon fiber guitars. That's one of the main things that I like about Emerald, is the way all their guitars are made of carbon fiber, and actually it's actually a big benefit that they're made of carbon fiber, because it's obviously very lightweight, and it's not as easy to like break anything. You know, for example, if you're placing it at hot areas, you're not going to like warp any of the woods or anything, because it's not really made of wood necessarily.
Does it stay in tune better?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like that is the only guitar I've ever had in which it's literally never went out of tune while like doing any serious like playing. Yeah.
How did it feel like for someone to actually, you know, like give you like a guitar like that and just sponsor you almost?
Well, I mean, when I got it, I was like, okay, this is very cool, obviously, and I still do think that. But yes, it's quite a big thing for such a young age, because I'm still only a youngster, like, and I've got this guitar.
Got a big grown-up head on you. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so grown up in many ways. You know, yeah, you are actually. Yeah, you just got a lot of depth to you. There's no doubt about it. Okay. And I love all the fact that you've done all these festivals, and you're headlining one on the 25th of August. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, the Hilden Beer Fest up in Lisburn. I've actually played there last year for a couple days in a row. And I remember I was playing last year on the big stage. In fact, I'm actually playing this year on the big stage on the 26th. You know, and it's a brilliant little festival. There's loads of content to check out, and many great bands playing there. And if you can go to the Hilden Beer Fest, I recommend going, because you've got various choices of music.
And where do you actually think you're going to be, or where would you like to be? Because obviously you're still in school. Or are you kind of going in?
I am still in school.
Like, really?
Yes. Yeah, this is going to be my last year in school. From September to next summer. That'll be my last year in school. And for now, at the moment, I'm considering doing music as just my full-on career, and I hope to be, you know, relatively successful on that. But if not, yes, I do have other things I'm interested in. Like, I'm actually interested in like videography and photography and editing and stuff like that. Just sort of media things, and I like art, you know, I like drawing, I like graffiti, sort of I do like sort of things like that, you know.
I'm
Sort
looking
of creative,
forward-
the creative side of things, essentially.
I'm looking forward to looking back at this interview in about 20 years' time and see see how you progressed.
Yes.
It won't be just, I just think I'm going to be in music. You're definitely going to be in music.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Well,
You're
yeah,
too talented.
We shall let the future speak for
Yeah,
itself.
no. You're going to be picked up for sure.
Yeah.
And I see that you have a new single,
Yep.
and you had a music video along with that, and it's called Believe. You wrote that yourself?
Yes, I wrote. Actually, the whole album's written by myself,
Excellent.
and all the instruments are played by myself. Drums, bass, guitar, vocals, all that.
And what was the inspiration for Believe?
Well, the thing about Believe is it has that sort of not same, but the sort of vibes of, like, if you listen to like a Stone Roses, like I Want to Be Adored, or like even I Am the Resurrection or something like that, has that sort of vibe to it. Yeah. As for everything else with the song, I mean, you can work it out for yourself. I guess is the best way I can put it.
And the new album, and I really love the name of it because it so suits you, because you are supernatural.
Yeah.
So obviously that's been released, or has been released.
Yeah, it has been released.
So tell us a little bit about that.
It's on every streaming platform. So if you want to check it out on Spotify or YouTube or Apple Music or anything like that, it's Zac Mack Supernatural. And yes, that is what I like to call my big project. And yeah, I think it probably has been planned ever since I started taking music seriously, basically. Yeah, I think the first two songs that I wrote for it was Everything's Changed and the Aurora song. Everything's Changed was the first single I ever released. I think I was like 12 or something like that, 13 maybe. I was somewhat of a young age like that. The Aurora song, I think, was the first or second song I wrote. That sort of instrumental. It used to be called Just Aurora, and then when we were doing the album, I decided to name it the Aurora song because I thought it suited the song better. And yeah, those were the first two songs that I wrote for the album, and then everything else. There was Goodbye Old Times was an early one too, when I was like 12. And then the rest of the album I sort of built like brick by brick. It took quite a bit of time to think properly and get the time to write what I wanted to put down on paper, but I got it in the end, and I think it's perfect so far.
And have you noticed the more you're on stage, the better reaction you're getting from people? Can you see the build-up of that?
Well, I do notice it. It's kind of a hard thing to explain, though. But I do notice the more and more concerts I do, and the way people react, and I can sort of understand things like that.
Well, you do make people, even I felt emotional listening to you, you know. You definitely have that feeling when you're watching on stage. I have to say, we're nearly come to the end of the interview, and obviously we've been following each other on social media for quite a long time. And I have to say, to have you present here, you definitely have something very, very gifted. So keep going and keep strong and
100%.
keep at it and,
100%,
and live
yeah.
those magic dreams that are waiting for you.
100%, yeah.
You know. So before you leave, and it's a pleasure, by the way. It's wonderful being in your
Yes,
company.
thank you for having
really,
for having
thanks
me.
so much. But before you go, just tell people all about your social media so that people can contact you.
Well, this is the time for me to let loose and start plugging. If you want to check out, is it this camera here?
Just over there.
Oh, that
Yeah,
one.
Go ahead.
All right, so if you want to check out my YouTube, it's Zach Mack Official. Same thing goes for Instagram, just Zach Mack Official. And for Facebook, check out Zach Mack Music. And yeah, I hope you enjoy. And if you want to check everything else, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Music, whatever, it's just simply Zach Mack.
I think you'll be getting your own TV show as well on top of that.
I hope so. I hope so.
So Zach, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
See you very soon.
Of course.
Keep growing and getting stronger and as talented as ever. Oh my God. So listen, that's it for tonight. It's been a fantastic show. I'm sure everybody at home is at the same page as that. Thank you so much on behalf of myself, Angel, and the crew. We'll see you all again next week. Until then, good night.